For you to start your story, your journey, how you start in the business, and then for a brief sort of history of it, and then we'll have a specific questions for you.
Okay.
How's that?
Yes. Okay.
Thank you.
So I'm 72 years old. No, 70 years old.
70 years young.
Okay, and I was 29 years old when I attended a meeting like this, and I learned about network marketing, where you could build a group, and the group grows and it grows and grows, and then you earn override on the group's thing. So that business model got stuck in my mind since I was 29 years old, 28 when I heard it, actually from a company called Amway, you know. So for the next 20 years, so at 29-year-old, I literally quit my job. I don't like to work anymore. I just want to build a group, okay? So the next 20 years from that time, that was 1984, a long time ago, I quit my job. First 20 years, I was with many different companies. Amway, Herbalife, Melaleuca. I sold real estate, I sold insurance, vitamins, many, 20 years. So those were my training, and I learned a lot. I'm a learner. It's very important. You become a learner. You study every day. You read books. You watch YouTube videos. A lot of YouTube videos about mindset. You know, these inspirational speakers, motivational speakers. So after 20 years of trying everything, I still don't have money. I would build and then I would lose them. I would build, I would lose them. 20 years. And then I found this company. So the next 20 years was the best time of my life. Because everything I learned from those other companies, I was able to use in our company. And it builds from my first day. Actually, I really believe God gave me this business. Because what happened was, from the very first day of my joining, I wasn't even a member yet. I went to California when I was invited, and I called a couple of friends, you know, right there after I saw the meeting. I said, I just told them I found this Japanese company, and see, being a network marketer, I'm interested in making money. So the product wasn't that much exciting for me, although I heard a lot of good stories. But I'm excited with making a lot of money. Like when I was in California on my first day, I saw this Asian guy. I forgot what he was. He brought in the office a whole bunch of application forms, and then I asked him. I said, so how did you sell that? Okay. By the way, I went to California, I had no money. My upline JB invited me, paid for my airfare, paid for my hotel, picked me up at the airport, at the hotel, bring me to the meeting with Mr. Oshiro. Mr. Oshiro was doing the meeting on a whiteboard, drawing circle in Japanese. So I didn't understand much. Now, here is one lesson, okay? In recruiting or selling, there's this thing called pain points of a person. You know, what is the pain point of a person? My pain point is I have no money and I need money. I had no business and I need to do something. My real estate fell apart, you know. So that's my pain point. So when this Asian guy with a whole bunch of orders, I saw him and I asked him, I said, how did you make all those sales? And he said, oh, it's very simple. He said, I just do the demo, like what we did here. I just go from house to house, do the demo. I tell them, if it turns yellow, don't drink it, it's bad, it's acidic. If it's purple, it's good. Our water is purple, that's what you should drink, you know. I said, that's it? I can do that too, you know. So that made me joy. I said to myself, if this guy could do it, you know,
I can do it, right?
I can do it. I went back to New York, and sure enough, I started doing the demo. There was no tool at the time, no Facebook, no YouTube, no nothing, no. Our application for like photocopied like 100 times already. It's like so faded already, you know. It was a primitive way of doing business when I started 20 years ago. So the only tool was the pH tester. I bought $200 worth of pH tester. I said to myself, I'm gonna do this every day, you know. Did a pH test. So 3 months, my calendar showed I did 120 demos, 40 demo each month. I became a 6A, 3 months. So my son kept that calendar that I have. He said he inspires him. 120 demo, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people became groups, about 500 prospects in 3 months. 400 did not buy, but I had the 100 that bought that made me a 6A in 3 months.
Wow.
Okay, so don't worry about those who don't buy, because some people would say, how come you so hard to convince people? Oh, I think I talked too long.
No, I think they all understand.
Oh, you understand?
So keep
Okay.
going.
Okay. Just tell me to start.
My job easy.
Okay, so some
I think
people.
one area I want to make sure I think they know. Mr. Ron, có một điểm thôi là mình muốn nhấn mạnh chỗ này, không biết là mấy cái anh chị có hiểu không? Là ông nói cái bí mật ở cái chỗ là mình biết được cái điểm yếu, cái nỗi đau của cái người đối tác. Nếu mà cái chị không biết cái nỗi đau của người đối tác thì nó sẽ không thành công. Cho nên ông nói là lúc đối với ông cái nỗi đau, cái pain point của ông ấy, là ông không có tiền, ông nghèo, ông không có biết cách nào làm. Cho nên đó là cái động lực cho ông tìm hiểu. Cho nên nếu mà các anh chị đi ra ngoài trước khi mình chia sẻ cái cơ hội này thì phải biết được là cái nỗi đau của người ta là gì. Nếu như mình chưa biết cái nỗi đau mà mình muốn chia sẻ liền thì có thể nó sẽ không thành công. Mà ngay cả mình biết được cái nỗi đau mà ông chỉ được có 20% mà thôi. Nhưng đó là cái number game. Yeah. So I'm just trying to touch on the pain point. I think that's very important.
So that's how I got started, my first 3 months. By the end of the 6th month, okay, before we used to have a printout of how many sales, and then you see the sales on the left side, how many, and then on the right side you have the commission, and you see the total commission. So by the end of the 6th month, I see that I had 300 sales. The commission was $180,000, and I never made that kind of money in my life a long time ago. 20 months ago, that's how I got started, and I just kept on and kept on. And by the end of the year, my first year, my group was selling about 500 machines. Okay, a month. The key is duplication. Okay, what I did after a year, because I know, okay, this is another good point. Okay, you should be able to duplicate yourself through others. Okay. The way I did that is I created at that time a DVD. Now you don't even need it anymore because you have YouTube, you know, and Facebook videos. So I created a DVD. I hired my son, and on my second year, I distributed about 40,000 DVDs in people's home. So people would watch my demo on the TV. Everybody had DVD player at the time. They watched it. I remember one time on my second year where my wife was in another state, and it was my chance to get all the checks from the mail, and I took all the checks. This second year, I called my wife, said, you know how much checks we have in the mail? $104,000. I was shocked. You know? That was the second year. It just kept on building and building. So fast forward today, like I said, last month was the first month with the bonus and everything, and the monthly checks I get, you put it all together. I made over $1.1 million.
One month. Only one.
And that's with the bonus for the run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cho dịch cái phần này cũng khá quan trọng, nhưng cái chị lưu ý cái phần này. Ông nói là cái phần này là ông làm cái gì nhớ là ông làm trong 3 tháng, ông làm 120 cái demo. Thì ông muốn là bây giờ ông nghĩ là bây giờ làm sao mà để nhân bản nó lên cho nó mau hơn, nhân bản lên cho nó mau hơn. Thì ông đã tạo ra từ ngay hồi là 20 năm về trước rồi. Hồi đó là chưa có Facebook, chưa có gì hết. Thì hồi đó là có DVD, thì ông đã thâu lại cái demo của ông á. Và ông phân how many thousand your DVD?
40,000.
40,000, 40.000 cái DVD ông
To
send
my
down.
downlines. Yeah.
Chứ không những là cho ông ta mà cho tất cả những người trong cái group của ông ta. Đấy là một cái bài học mà chúng ta, anh Khang, mình nên learn cái phần này, đúng không? Chúng ta sẽ dùng leverage, tức là mình sẽ tận dụng tất cả những, ngay cả những anh chị nói không, tôi không biết làm demo, nhưng mà mình có thể dùng cái upline, cái người nào có khả năng làm demo và duplicate, tức là nhân bản cái đó ra, copy nó ra. Và ông nói là cái năm thứ hai là ông kiếm được 128.000 trong năm thứ hai, và bây giờ tới 20 năm sau thì một tháng của ông là 1.2, 1.2 triệu đô.
Wow, một tháng như vậy chị nha.
That was the original YouTube video. There was no YouTube then. That's the DVD. People are watching. And then YouTube came about, and then I saw Bob Rudelli with the demo now, and Daniel De Macali on YouTube. But they were based on my original DVD.
Rồi ông nói là sau này lại bắt đầu có YouTube, rồi có những người giỏi hơn, nhưng mà họ đều theo cái mẫu của ông Romy từ lúc ban đầu. But I heard that your demo is very simple.
Yeah.
That anybody can do, because you thought that you could do just like the other person did,
Yeah.
which is just the pH tester. Only.
Yeah, I only
Is
use
that
four.
correct?
I only use four liquids: Aquafina, Dasani, 7-Up, and Smirnoff vodka. That's all.
Smirnoff vodka. Okay. Why vodka?
Because that's what I saw 20 years ago.
Oh.
On JV.
Đó, ông chỉ có làm cái pH tester thôi anh chị. Chỉ có 4 chai nước là Dasani, Aquafina, Sprite and the vodka.
Oh yeah, it's right. Yeah.
I'm still vẫn chưa hiểu tại sao ông dùng
7-Up.
vodka, mà ông nói là ông hồi đó ông bán cái rượu, cho nên ông muốn cho người ta thấy là cái hại của rượu.
Yeah. Also, I try to make it short. Maybe 30, 40 minutes. You know, half is the demo, and a lot of story of people with testimony, and then the other half is the compensation plan. I really make the compensation
But
plan.
the
as
story,
fast as
whose story that time?
of the people that first drank my water.
Oh.
I got all kinds of
Oh,
people
okay,
who
okay,
drank
okay.
the water, you know,
Yes.
that became well. So I have a lot of people who just want to drink the water; they don't even want the business, you know. Yeah. So in the beginning, that's what we were. Yeah.
Yeah. Trong thời ban đầu nó chỉ làm demo trong khoảng 40 phút, một nửa thời gian đó là làm cái demo, cái tester, còn một nửa phần còn lại là ông luôn làm cái cách giải thưởng. Và ông nói là trong cái lúc mà ông làm demo là ông nói rất nhiều câu chuyện. Thì hôm nay mình mới hỏi ông là câu chuyện gì, câu chuyện thành công của những người thành công, hay là, nhưng mà ông nói là câu chuyện của những người khách hàng mà uống nước mà được có cái sự trải nghiệm tốt cho sức khỏe.
But the people who build the business very big are the ones who are good at explaining the compensation plan. Yeah.
Theo ông thì ông nói những người mà build cái business thành công nhất là những người có thể giải thích được cái cơ hội giải thưởng của
The
công ty.
business part.
Big
Yes.
company. Theo ý ông nói là cho nên tất cả những cái demo, những cái presentation của ông là đều nói cái cơ hội giải thưởng hết. You always do the compensation
Yeah, I
plan
always do.
at your
I always do.
presentation.
On all the presentations. Unless the person really stops me that I'm not interested in this stuff.
Oh, okay.
I always do.
Trừ khi họ nói với ông là họ không có quan tâm đến cái đó thì ông ngừng. Chứ còn ông luôn nói cái cơ hội kinh doanh. Okay, so
Yeah,
now
okay.
Yim is gonna tell you a story. But before that, can I
I have a
ask-
lot of stories, but I'm waiting for your question.
yeah,
I can say a lot of stories.
Yeah. So my question to you is, when you approach people, how do you I know you said you need to know the pain point of the person. You approach them with the business opportunity, or you approach them with the health.
Okay, because previous to our business, I was doing network marketing for 20 years. So I have book binders of names of people from the different business that I was in. So I'm calling them for the purpose of the business. Since I found a good business and I want to show it to you. So I'm interested in the business.
Ông luôn là mời người ta là vì cái cơ hội kinh doanh. Tại vì ông nói là trong 20 năm đầu, các chị nhớ không, cái câu chuyện của ông 20 năm đầu tiên là ông đã làm việc với rất nhiều 3-4 cái công ty network khác, cho nên ông đã vẫn có được cái lưu lại những cái danh sách đó. Cho nên khi mà ông làm bên công việc này ông thành công thì ông mới gọi hết lại những cái người đó, và ông nói là ông có một cái cơ hội, cái cơ hội rất là tốt và ông muốn chia sẻ. So that's how
So
you
like
start.
after 20 years, I have seen my observations. People who are very good at selling the machine because of the water, they make some money, but then it doesn't build the organization. But the one who are looking for people who want to do business, they are the ones who organization grow.
Ok, đây là cái điểm mà mình cũng nên lưu ý khi anh Khang với lại mình sẽ nói về ngày mai. Tức là ông nói theo cái nhận thức của ông là cái kinh nghiệm của ông 40 năm qua, 20 năm á, là ông thấy những người nào mà làm giỏi về demo á, sản phẩm thì cái business nó ok thôi, nó sẽ khá, nhưng mà những người mà business và thành công như ông bây giờ là luôn luôn tập trung vào cái cơ hội kinh tiền kinh doanh.
Ok. So cái câu hỏi của em á là ông có thể chia sẻ cho em biết là những cái giai đoạn nào mà khó khăn nhất mà ông đã từng đi qua là gì?
Okay, so her question is, in your journey of building the Enagic business, do you have any point in time that you experienced the most difficult time? And if you do, what are those?
Okay. Probably because I already had my 20 years of experience before I joined Enagic. So when I joined Enagic, I really did not have much, I would say, down experience because I already learned a lot. Number one, I learned that you have to really build a lot of things. Okay, now the way I build it might be different because like I said, I did not strategize, we didn't know anything, like those 2 by 2 by 2, we didn't even do that. I only have one position. Everybody I sign directly underneath me. So I already learned, so my strategy was just that's why I'm that's 12.
Right.
I probably recruit 50 salaries direct to me, but the 12 built because I found out that if you have people who are strong, and I had those leaders, they're dash 3, dash 4, they left me. Yeah? And they said, Romy, if we leave you, your check gonna go down because they're the biggest thing when I was starting. They went to a different business. Your check will go down. There's so many competition about the water, about the product. They tell me all kind of negative things. I already learned not to listen. Okay, so I didn't care about what they say, even though they're high in rank, because I have other groups, and then another group, and then another group picked up. You know? So it didn't matter if they left because I had the other group building. Yeah. The bad part is if you're depending on one leg and then that leg falls apart, and then so it's good to have many legs. I mean that's just mine.
Thì ông nói là ông cũng không có hẳn là ông có những cái kinh nghiệm gì mà về khó khăn. Tại vì các anh chị nhớ là ông nói trong 20 năm đầu ông đã trải nghiệm những cái công ty khác và ông đã học được cái cách, tức là như ông cũng có khuyên là chúng ta để làm cái công việc thành công là do you think that you advise them that they need to be trained, build mindset, learn to become a better person
Okay.
because of your experience in the first 20 years in business.
Yeah.
So then at least have that.
Yeah,
In
that's,
training
that's
in the
very,
system.
very important. Okay, building a huge organization is a combination of mindset and skill set. Those two. The mindset is like when I quit my job at 29. My mindset was I'm going to make it. I remember this guy Eric was said, I'm gonna climb this mountain. You're gonna see me dead on the side of the mountain or waving at the top. You know. I remember that. Like, I'm gonna go up. I mean, you only have one life. I have to make it to my millionaire dream. I'm not gonna stop. I'm not gonna quit. You know, because the moment you doubt and you quit, and then after reaching my age now, I have seen many of my friends get discouraged and they quit and they switch to other business. One time they would say, "Oh, God gave me this business." Next thing you know, they're in another business. So I said, "I thought you said God gave you the business. Why are you in another business now?" So the mindset of not quitting is very important. You don't give up on your dream. I remember one time, and it became well known when my son told me, my son Jason said, "Dad, why don't you drive an ice cream truck?" Because he was driving an ice cream truck. He was a teenager. I said, "Why are you telling me that, Jason?" "Because you're so poor, Dad. You have no money. I'm borrowing $20 from my own son." I said, "Jason, no. I'm not poor. I'm a rich man who is broke." I just don't have money now, but I'm going to be rich again. I'm not poor. I'm a rich man who is broke. Because I experienced succeeding previously already. Yeah? So you hold on to that growth, experience of success, and you just keep on moving forward. Mr. Oshiro, I learned from him. He said, "You just keep moving forward. Don't be afraid of making a mistake. You correct it, you know, if you make a mistake, but you move forward every day."
Tức là trở lại cái lúc đầu lúc mà ông nói đó, là ông nói là tất cả chúng ta đều sẽ có những cái khó khăn, những người ta bỏ cuộc, những người ta nói này nói kia, nói tiêu cực. Nhưng mà nếu mà mình cứ tiếp tục mình đi làm, và cái đặc biệt của ông là trong thời gian đầu ông bỏ rất nhiều người, cái hàng ngàn. Rồi từ ông nói là hình như là phải tới 50 người trên cái hàng ngang của ông á. Rồi trong 50 người đó là có 12 người là thật sự build cái business. Và thậm chí có những người ngay tại xuống dưới 6A2-3-4 đã nghỉ quit và làm những chuyện coi như là đổi qua cái network khác luôn. Nhưng mà vì ông không bao giờ bỏ cuộc, ông nghĩ là ông sẽ tiếp tục tới, ông đã học được rất là nhiều thứ, cho nên ông khuyên tất cả chúng ta nếu muốn thành công trong công việc này là phải có hai điều này. Một cái là cái tư duy, và cái thứ hai là cái kỹ năng. Chúng ta phải tiếp tục luôn luôn đào tạo, trau dồi hai cái kỹ năng này. Là tư duy là tư duy làm giàu, tư duy không có bỏ cuộc. Và bằng chứng là ông đã có rất nhiều người đã bỏ cuộc, đã khuyên ông là không có thành công, nhưng mà bây giờ ông đã được thành công. Thì chúng ta đã thấy cái gương như vậy rồi. Ý là như vậy.
Now, related to that experience of being down, okay, what makes me excited and high? Every day I'm high. Every day I'm excited. Okay? And I have a source where I get that excitement. Okay? And it might not be, some people might not believe it, but I read the Bible every day. I know all the stories of all those characters in the Bible who they were down and they trusted in God, and God lifted them up. I know the story of David. Remember David who killed Goliath? So I imagine myself like those characters, you know. David killed the Goliath. I gotta kill all the problems I Joseph, remember Joseph? He was thrown by his brother on a pit. He became a prisoner. He ended up becoming a prince of Egypt. So I know all those stories and all the different characters. I learned how Solomon is the richest man that ever, because of his wisdom. I imagine myself like Moses. Remember Moses freed a lot of slaves out of Egypt, brought them to the promised land. Like even now, I imagine myself like that. Like I'm like a kind of Moses. I help a lot of people bring to the promised land of Enaji, you know, and make money and be wealthy. So you gotta have a model to pattern your life. It cannot be blank, you know. It's like a kind of meaning. We are a meaning-seeking beings, you know. So you have to have a vision, a pattern, all those things. So I go by what's called principles. I got all those principles in my head. I learned.
Ông nói là thì chúng ta đây cần biết là bên bên người Phi và Mỹ đây là cái đạo chính là đạo Điện Thiên Chúa Giáo. Thì Cường cũng là Thiên Chúa Giáo, cho nên những cái câu chuyện mà ông nói Cường biết, nhưng mà hầu như rất là nhiều các anh chị là bên Phật giáo thì không, là ý ông nói là mình nên phải có một cái nền tảng gì đó mà mình đi theo. Ông khi mà ông đọc sách Kinh Thánh thì ông đã, của bên những người Do Thái đó hồi xưa đó, thì ông luôn luôn nghĩ rằng là ông là những cái nhân vật này đã làm cái gì cho nhân loại, và ông ví ông như là như vậy. Cho nên nếu mà ngay cả anh chị ở những người ở tôn giáo khác thì mình phải có một cái nền tảng, một cái sự tín ngưỡng về tâm linh chẳng hạn, để các anh chị, để nó làm cái cơ bản trong cái cuộc đời của mình. Tại vì trong khi này mà mình làm việc thì mình sẽ có những cái va chạm với người, cho nên nếu mà mình không có cái principle, mình không có cái cơ bản ấy, thì nhiều khi nó sẽ khó thành công. Cho nên ông làm theo những cái cơ bản đó.
And you should be able to handle those down through those some principles that you know what keeps you up. For example, yesterday my sister-in-law called me on the phone. Like she was freaking out because she lives in a house owned by me and my wife in New York. My two sisters-in-law, younger than my wife, and there's a white fence on the property in New York, and a student driver with a teacher. The student probably doesn't know what to do. He ran over my beautiful white fence into my yard inside, and the fence got locked down. And my sister-in-law said, "Come here, Robbie." Like, I'm here, you know. I said, "No, I'm not gonna go there." Call Matt. Matt is the one who handles the different real estate. but I called my other brother-in-law. I said, I mean, that's just like a wrecked fence, you know. I'm not gonna go there. I'm here. I'm enjoying here. I have a meeting here today, so I don't worry things like those, you know. I said, look at Donald Trump, you know. He used to worry about Iran and Israel and all the war between Ukraine, all this thing. Like, he sleeps well, I think. So me too, you know. I mean, don't be down.
Ông nói là mình đừng có bị down ha. Ông nói là mình phải có cái cơ bản, mình phải có cái lập trường, để mà rồi khi mà những cái chuyện nó xảy ra, mình sẽ nó không có làm cho mình bị tiêu cực, nó giảm cái năng lượng của mình đi.
Yeah, and so many times in the Bible, Jesus said, "Do not fear, do not fear, do not fear." So many times he said, because when you fear and when you doubt, you're done. You're going down, you know.
Không bao giờ sợ, nó không bao giờ sợ. Nếu mà sợ mà mình nghi ngờ, từ khi mình sợ nghi ngờ là mình xong rồi đó. Cho nên
So, cái câu hỏi của em á là nếu trong cái phòng này nè có những người mà làm rất là lâu rồi nhưng mà chưa có thấy kết quả rõ ràng thì theo ổng là họ đang thiếu điều gì?
So the question is, in this room, there are quite a few people here that have tried this business for a long time, but have not had any good results. So what do you advise them to do to keep going? And quit?
Like, if I ask you, show me what you did the whole day yesterday, I'm gonna know why you're not making it. Just give me a sample of your day, or make it 2 days, or make it a whole week. Forget. If I see your whole week, then it's your fault. You're not doing what you're supposed to do. I'm telling you. Now, again, that's why I read a lot of books. Human beings, we are all addicted, addicted to our daily routine. You're gonna know how to break your addiction, because the reason why you are where you are is because of all the thoughts that you think and all the acts that you acted. Okay, and that brought you to where you are today, whether you're broke or whether you're wealthy, And you will see it's because of that pattern. You're gonna watch your pattern. Check what you do. Remember, I was telling you it's a combination of mindset and skill set. So you probably don't have the skill set of selling. For instance, when I started, it took me, I did demonstration right away. Remember I told you I do about 40 demo on my first month. Some people do 40 demo in a year, some in 2 years, some in 3 years. But you see how I build so fast? Because once you do the first demo, and you do the second demo, you know what mistakes you did on the first. By the third demo, you're better than the first two. By the time you go your 10th demo, you're better than the first 9. Could you imagine 40 demo I have in 1 month? I'm an expert on my first month. Some people become expert in 3 years. because they don't do the 40 demo. Why prolong? Do it. Okay, so you have to master, it's so simple. Prospecting, what you say on the phone. To let them come, to let you come to their house. You have to master prospecting, you have to master the demo, you have to master the home plan, you have to master your stories, how you tell your stories. You have to master all those things. And they're all covered by many like sales training. They're all over YouTube now.
Yeah. Thì ông nói là này,
Eric Worre.
Yeah. Cái câu hỏi của Diễm là tại sao không có kết quả, thì ông nói cái câu hỏi đầu tiên ông sẽ hỏi chúng ta là ông cho ông coi cái lịch của các anh chị. Cái lịch của anh chị, nếu mà anh chị nói là đang làm công việc này thì cái lịch của cái mình nó có cho thấy là mình đang làm cái công việc này không? Đó là cái điều mà tại sao mình không có thành công. Rồi ông có nhắc là trong công việc này mình phải có cái mindset và cái skill set, có nghĩa là cái tư duy và cái kỹ năng. Thì trong cái kỹ năng đó nó có những vấn đề mà mình cần phải học hỏi. Ông khuyên là chúng ta nên đọc sách nhiều để mà đào tạo cho mình những cái kỹ năng đó. Kỹ năng như là prospecting, có nghĩa là đi mời người, kỹ năng làm demo, kỹ năng nói về cách giải thưởng, kỹ năng follow up. Như hồi xưa là giống như cũng nhớ hồi xưa là mình chỉ học được cái đó trong sách vở thôi, nhưng mà bây giờ nó ra YouTube, nó rất là everywhere rồi, cho nên là rất là dễ học những cái đó, cho nên mình không có cái cớ mà mình không có thể nào đào tạo cho mình những cái kỹ năng đó để mình trở thành, tại mình chưa có đủ cái lý do để mà mình làm thôi.
Rồi, bây giờ câu hỏi của em đó là có những cái đội nhóm trong hệ thống của ổng á, có kết quả rất là nhanh. Vậy theo ổng là cái điều gì mà tạo ra bứt phá đó? online hay là offline, hay là cách của họ là kết hợp cả hai.
Okay. So the question is, there are groups in your organization that are building the business very fast.
Yeah.
So what is it about them? What did they do differently that set them apart, that kind of really create such a bust, a growth in your organization? Do they do it the traditional way, offline? Do they do online, or do they both?
Okay. This is very important. Okay. This will be the big picture of the whole company. Because like I'm observing. Okay. It seems like there are 3 different groups in our company today. 3. The first group are the older ones like myself, maybe from, I would say, age 45 and above. Okay, we are like the pure old way of doing sales. We are the old salesman. Okay. And the beginning of my business, our business, that's the only way we knew. And then we have the middle group. I would say between 35 to 45. Okay. I think many members here are around the middle group. Okay. And then we have the younger group. Let's say 20 to 35, they're called the Gen Z. Okay. The 45 or 50 and above, like myself, Daniel De Macali, all those old timers that you know, even Cynthia, you know. Our way is really fading away. Okay. Also, we are older. We don't have as much energy as the younger anymore. Okay, now you're the middle group. I could see. Okay, you are in between the older and this younger who are fast. Okay, now I'm fortunate because I get to see many of the leaders and I get to talk, so I see what everybody's doing. The whole, you have to be aware of this, okay? Because you're on the middle. You're on the middle. You gotta understand that. The younger one, like I just came from Punta Cana, Dominican Republic. There were 200 people, 80% Filipinos, young Filipinos, 20 to maybe 35. And they came from all over the world. They don't do business the way we do, like the demo. No. They do everything online. Online. Because they're young. They know how to use the cell phone and get customers, and they say, why would I go to somebody's house to do a demo? I could send them a YouTube to watch. You know, they buy or they don't. So I would say before the pandemic, okay, you gotta be aware of this. Before the pandemic, the sales is probably 50-50 already. 50 is being sold, or maybe more of the old-time way of selling and less of the online. That 2019 is the pandemic, 2020. I got stuck in the Philippines. That's where I see, because I'm at the top, how Enagic was changing. Because pandemic came, 2020 March, I got stuck in the Philippines. I said to myself, oh my gosh, what's gonna, when previous to Enagic, I experienced business falling down and really I would go broke and I had no money. I'm telling you, because of, I was in that company, Herbalife, in the 80s. Herbalife had problems, like bad publicity on the television, and I lost my organization. I lost my house to foreclosure. My car was towed away, it disappeared outside my house. My house was padlocked. We were homeless. I was homeless. My wife got so mad at me, she divorced me. I mean, we came back together, but when you're hard up, you go to all these different things, you know. So we got separated. I got 2 sons. I literally was homeless. I remember walking in Chinatown on a Christmas day with no family, no money, no nothing. I literally was homeless on the street. That was a long time ago. You know? So well, what got me is this spirituality. Yeah, your spirit had to be solid, because if your spirit breaks out, then your outward life breaks apart. Once your spirit is solid, then you remember. Anyway, I believe God will restore me. Okay, and He really did. My first day in Enagic, I made a few calls. Cynthia joined me. My other friend Franny from Chicago joined me. Between those two, on my first day, I'm a DAS 8 today. Did you imagine that? The first 2 people I spoke on my first day. I'm a 0A. I'm not even a 1A yet. I told my friend Franny, give me a credit card. I'm going to join you into this Japanese company. We'll do the business. He gave me his credit card. And then Cynthia Briganti, or Andrew Cynthia, she was my first. She was my first prospect. So God gave me this business. How did I get to the topic? What was the question? Okay. Let me go back to the three. The third set.
Hold on, let he translate first and then we
Okay.
go back to that.
Rồi ông nói là theo cái sự
Nói là hồi nãy là
nhận xét của ông á, thì ông nhận thấy là trong những người mà làm công việc kinh doanh nó chia làm 3 nhóm. Một nhóm là những người lớn tuổi như ông trở đi, tức là theo ông là 45-50 tuổi trở đi. Nhóm mình giữa là từ 35 cho đến 45-50. Ông nghĩ là chúng ta đều là cỡ khoảng giữa đó. Biết đúng không? mình chắc nằm trên cái nhóm 1 đúng rồi. Rồi cái nhóm trẻ hơn là từ 25 cho đến 35. Thì cái cách thức mà những người cái lứa tuổi lớn mình đi làm cái kiểu hồi xưa đó, làm demo này nọ. Còn những tuổi trẻ bây giờ thì ông nói là tụi nó không còn muốn đi làm demo, là muốn gì. Nhưng mà ý ông là mình nói là mình nên có những cái lứa tuổi đó vô. Tại vì tụi nó rất là quen thuộc với công nghệ. Nó dùng phone nó không còn phải đi tới nhà người ta làm demo nữa. Nó có thể dùng demo, nó nhấn một cái là bên kia nhận được liền. Cho nên mình nên tập trung vào những cái lứa tuổi đó. Còn những cái tuổi sồn sồn của chúng ta thì chắc mình phải biết cả hai, chứ không thì mình sẽ bị mất quyền lợi. Và ông nói cái vấn đề là mình phải bên trong mình phải mạnh. Tại vì ông nói là nhiều khi nó bất cứ những cái gì nó xảy ra, cái sự cố gì nó xảy ra, mà nếu mình không có mặt ở bên trong, mình không có trong cái tâm linh của mình không có yên ổn đó, là mình sẽ dễ bị vỡ. Thì ông nói một thời là ông làm bên is that Herbalife from Hallelujah? Herbalife là bên nó hồi đó là không biết là như có bị tiếng tăm gì đó trên TV, trên đài truyền hình nó nói xấu về công ty như thế nào đó, nhưng mà là nguyên cả một cái đội nhóm của ông tan rã hết, và ông đã bị mất nhà, mất xe, và ngay cả vợ của ông cũng bỏ ông luôn. Trong thời kỳ sau này thì họ lại gặp nhau lại, nhưng mà trong cái thời gian mà chia coi như là chia ly đó, là cũng rất là, nếu mà ông không có cái sự yên ổn ở trong lòng, ở trong tâm hồn ấy, thì ông đã là thua rồi, mất rồi. Nhưng mà nhờ đó ông đã, cho nên theo ý ông tin là ở bên trên thượng đế giúp ông build cái business Enagic. Tại vì cái người đầu tiên mà ông mời là bây giờ là người đưa lên tới cái chức vị gạch 8. Người đầu tiên, không biết ở đây mình có ai may mắn như vậy không? Nhưng chắc em cũng may mắn vậy hả? Người đầu tiên mà ông nhận ra là cái người là làm thành công, mình đưa ông lên. I told him, oh no, anybody can be the lucky you, so it has to be from God to give you that. Because I don't think anybody can be the first person
Yeah.
that build a business successfully for you.
Yeah, but still, like I said, it's a combination of mindset, okay, and skill sets. For instance, although I got that guy, Franny, his name is Franny from Chicago. Actually, he's older than me. If I'm 70 now, it's probably towards his 80s. Okay, so 20 years ago, the people that I brought in, we were in our 40s. Okay, 20 years ago, 40s and between 40 and 50. So they are now in their 60s and 70s like me, the original ones from 20 years ago when I started. But you are on the middle. I would say 35 to 45 and 50. Okay, but this is what I observed, which is very important. Like the 50s and above, the 60s, we're literally fading away because I talked to them and they could not figure out how to go back and do sales and again, you know. When pandemic came, March of 2020, I was in the Philippines and all the airports locked down. I was stuck at my house in the Philippines and thank God I was there because I have a beautiful house in the Philippines with mango trees and a big yard while the pandemic is happening in New York. And I'm watching like on the news like, oh, thank God I'm not in New York during the pandemic. But this is what scared me at the time because I experienced my business falling apart previously, like I said in Herbalife. I said, is my business now gonna fall apart like the way it happened to me in Herbalife? Because when pandemic came, nobody could go from house to house and do the demo. None. I said, oh my gosh, my business will fall down now. Nobody's doing demo. Everything is locked. I called Tomo in California. Tomo, how's the sales? At the end of March, oh, it's the same. What? And April came. April. The initial pandemic thing that nobody goes to them. How's the sales? It went up. What? Nobody is doing demo. And the sales are going up. June, it still goes up. I tell you, my biggest years are during the pandemic. It keeps on going up because of the onliner, the younger people. They found out our company. They discovered Enagic, these young people. And they said, what they like with our company is it's a high ticket item. Because most of this younger generation who knows how to sell online, they're selling little items.
So, we talk about the pandemic, the COVID.
The COVID, yeah.
The three of us. Hua, Tony, and me, we went to Arizona. We worked 18 days. My downline was 6 days.
Wow.
At COVID time.
At COVID time, wow.
And then when we come back,
Uh-huh.
we all get COVID. Yep. And then we still working. We don't give up. And that's why you say, oh, the sales go up.
Yours are different.
Yeah.
The Vietnamese people are growing.
Oh yeah, we
Yeah,
grown
because
so much.
like CJ7 and then Dang Nguyen, DX7, and you're 7, you've been going up and going up.
Yeah.
For some reason, the COVID didn't like stop you from doing it. It's probably because of the closeness of your community. Yeah, your community is very close to each other.
Yes,
you know.
I want to emphasize that at
Yeah.
that time we've been working hard. At
Yes,
the time.
yes. So that adds up also to the growth.
Yes.
But then I found out these onliners. What happened there is these young people, they brought in their expertise in social media. They grew up on the cell phone, you know, but the 20 up to I would say around 35 years old. And I see some younger people here, so you're still close to that experience, you know. But they grew up here and they do everything on their cell phone and on their laptop. So like here's the big difference. Okay, like I was in Dominican Republic. Like I said, 200 people, 80% are Filipino. They are young. See how we gathered here today and everybody. On the gathering of the onliner, you're gonna see all of them with a tripod talking to their cell phone. All of them. You see them in San Diego when we hit them in San Diego. Because they are trained, okay? You call it a framework. A framework. What is a framework? By the way, I learned this from 2 years ago. Because when I learned what the onliners are doing, that's why I have a YouTube channel today. I have a YouTube channel close to 10 million subscribers. Do you know that Fox News have 15 million? Another 5 million and I have as many watchers as the Fox News. Except my subscribers are all over the world.
Romney's new.
The Fox News are like from the United States, but that's how much subscribers I have. You're not gonna find very few people have over 10 million subscribers.
YouTube pays a lot of money too.
I could post something now, every day I get over 1 million views. Every day, 1 million views.
Well, all down line right here, sir.
So it could be learned. Okay, now I learned everything. The good thing is I have plenty of time to study. I'm more free than most people, you know, because I don't have to work for the money anymore. So I enjoy learning and I enjoy studying. Like I could do 10, 20 videos in a day. I was just doing one video this early morning there myself, you know. And I was saying to myself, because I'm gonna post it later. I said, when I was in Dominican Republic, one lady said, I saw your videos, like, I wonder if this Romy Verdera is real or is he just an
Maybe
AI? They're like faceless channels now. You don't even know who the person is, you know. You don't know if it's a real person or an AI. So I made a video today. I said, I'm real. My name is Romy. I live here in Port Charlotte. Look, my dog is barking at the back. And the sun is rising. I'm real, you know. And I said, the reason why you see a lot of my videos every day, 10, 20, I cannot shoot 10, 20 videos in a day. Those are my AIs. Yeah. But I tell them what to say, you know. I write the script of what they say. I actually can shoot myself now or tell my AI to say a whole story and then click something and my AI will speak it in Vietnamese. I'll do that.
Các anh chị hiểu hết ông nói gì là chứ đâu cần phải dịch đúng
Rồi
không?
sao đồ.
Mấy cái phôi nào mà hay nghĩ em tưởng lên
Tức là ý ông nói là mình nên hiểu về cái online, tức là sau khi ông nói về cái mình bị Covid đó, cái thời kỳ đại dịch đó, là ông cứ nghĩ là cái business của ông nó sẽ bị coi như là tan rã giống như cái đợt trước vậy đó. Nhưng mà khi mà ông trở về, ông gọi điện cho ông Thomo thì ông rất là ngạc nhiên khi mà nghe nói là tháng 4 cái năm 2020 là lúc cái tháng sau mà khi bị dịch thì cái sale của cái nhóm của ông nó không những là giảm mà nó còn tăng nữa, rồi tháng 6 tăng lên, nó tăng nữa thì theo ông biết là nhờ vào cái business online, nhờ vào business online thì rất là nhiều người trẻ đã nhân cái dịp đó, người ta không có đi làm được, nó ở nhà. Và tại vì cái cơ hội kinh doanh của eNagic của mình á là những cái sản phẩm của mình là những sản phẩm đẳng cấp, cao tiền, cho nên nó mới có nhiều cái tiền hoa hồng. Thì cái đó là cái điều nó thu hút những người trẻ. Theo ông là như vậy. Còn nếu mà tụi nó mà chỉ lấy vài đồng như là trong những cái network khác thì nó sẽ không có lôi cuốn được những cái lứa tuổi đó. Thì cho nên là ông mới khuyên là và bây giờ rất là dễ, và ông đã làm cái YouTube channel của ông là nó có tới 10 triệu view, 10 triệu người follow. Cho nên là ông khuyên là chúng ta cần phải nên bắt buộc mình phải theo cái công nghệ. Nếu mà không theo công nghệ thì mình sẽ bị bỏ rơi. Và ông nói là những người lớn tuổi như ông trong cái công việc này thì bây giờ càng ngày nó sẽ càng càng mờ đi và không còn, và những cái lứa tuổi trẻ nó sẽ càng ngày càng lên. Thì nếu mình không có tiếp cận cái công nghệ thì mình sẽ bị bỏ rơi chắc chắn luôn.
Yeah. So actually, my point is, you being at that middle, okay, us being at the oldies, let's call it oldies or seniors, the one that joined me 20 years ago, you're in the middle, okay? And then you have the Gen Z, again, the 18 to 35 who grew up on the cell phone. Like I have a grandkid who's like 2 years old. When he holds my phone, I see how like he would, they know, it's natural to them, not to us, you know. So my point is, being in our business, you're looking forward to, they call it legacy, to the next generation. Like what I built in my business now goes to my 2 sons. You know, it's set up already. Now, here's the thing. You will, I myself, and I would say even you, if you're over 35, okay, around 35 and 40 and above, you will never be as good anymore, I believe, as these young people. Even because I tried it for 2 years, I tried to do the online, but like I said, the thing is, like I'm making so much money already, like kind of funny, you know. Because, without the bonus, I make about 300. I make about $4 million a year. You know, that's about $1 million every 3 months. That's about over $10,000 per day. Okay, which means, and that's without that bonus that I got. You know, that bonus increased again because I went up in rank. Okay, because I have plenty of time to study. Although I learned the online way of this different group of mine, the way I use that online thing is for my ministry. Like if you go to my YouTube and channel, I talk about Jesus and God, you know, because that was my first, I would say, when I was younger, first love is I want to become a priest and a pastor, you know. So now that I'm free, I feel like I could do them now. Okay, so that's what I'm doing. But if I want to use all those YouTube views and things to sell more machines and to recruit more people, I know how to do it because I see how my different groups do it. Okay, and my point in my telling you this now is like, although I acknowledge that I really see you will never be as good as those younger people, you could learn more, okay? Spend some time learning it so you could have those younger people under your group. You know at least what to tell them. Like I have my friend Franny, who is a DAS 3, but underneath him is a DAS 7, who is an onliner balas. And as a DAS 3, he makes $40,000 a month. Just because he has an onliner underneath him. And all the onliners are under my friend Franny. He's 8 years old. He's one of my, that's my first recruit. 20 years ago, my friend Franny, and he's living good.
Just one more, sir, like you say, DAS 3, but all the people down underneath, that assemble right there, Kang, he can tell you live right now.
Mm-hmm.
How much he got the money, he can tell. Can you please, sir? Okay?
Oh yeah.
He just saying like he got a downline at DAS 3, but a lot of under DAS 3, DAS 5, DAS 6, DAS 7, and the other guy made a lot of money, but he's the story he tell. But you the live story right here. I want you to tell how much you got the money.
Yes. I'm at in the airport organization from him, the Rapid 10. With the last month, I got 47K.
There you go.
Yeah,
now you
yeah,
say about
yeah.
40, 50,000.
Yeah,
There you go.
there's a
Because
lot.
I want you to prove to
Yeah.
everybody that's a live
A lot.
witness right there.
Uh,
Because
uh,
what you say hit the story.
Yeah.
But he a live witness. That's what
Yeah,
I want
live
you to
witness,
say.
yeah.
Made more stronger.
Yeah.
Thank you, Anh.
Yeah.
Thank you, thank you. I'm telling you, I could tell you a whole lot of stories of like, it's not the rank because it's like how it's positioned. There are industries that make a whole lot of money, you know, at that rank. I only gave my friend Franny as an example because he doesn't do almost nothing. He's 80 years old.
80?
Yeah,
80.
don't post it on Facebook.
Yeah.
80,
80.
80. He's 10 years older than me. I recruited him 20 years ago. You know, my friend. But what I'm happy
Dạ.
that
Because you helped him.
without doing nothing, almost nothing, he's making that because he's got onliner underneath him.
Thì ông nói là ông có một cái người mà là 10 tuổi hơn ông, là một trong những cái người đầu tiên mà ông đưa vô đó lên chức vụ 62/3. Nhưng mà dưới cái ông này, what's his name,
Franny.
Franny, là dưới ông này là có cái thằng trẻ là thằng Balas, hình như là các anh chị cũng biết, nó mới lên giặc 7 đó,
Dạ.
là nó làm online đó. Mà cái ông Franny này là không làm gì hết luôn, hầu như là không có làm gì hết mà được hưởng cái như quyền, cái tiền franchise. Các anh chị thấy không, ngày mai mình sẽ nói cái vấn đề đó, là hơn 40.000 mỗi tháng từ cái người này. Cho nên nhiều khi mình chỉ cần, có nhiều người nói ô tôi không biết ai hay tôi không có thời gian, mình chỉ cần kết nối đúng một người mà cái người đó mình sẽ ảnh hưởng, mình sẽ được hưởng suốt đời. Yeah, so I told you so important. Some people say, oh, I don't have time, and you know, all you got to do is to connect the right one.
You got to find the right one. Okay. So what I'm saying is, like I said, I would say I went to Australia, for instance. Again, Australia, 500 of them, young women. Out of 500, 80% or probably 90% are all women. And they're all young women, and I spoke on the stage. I was like their grandpa, you know. Their leader is a young lady with 3 kids, 5-year-old and younger. Her name is Christy, and she would appear on YouTube or Facebook. Sometimes even breastfeeding her baby. They said like, yeah, I don't want to work. I just want to make money in my living room, you know. And she's the head of that group in Australia, and they learn everything online, and they're all young, you know. And I tell you how this thing works. I was doing a meeting in New York at the office, doing a demo. This was maybe 2 years ago. And then a young lady from, I think, Virginia came to my meeting because he knew I was going to do a demo at the office in New York. And then this Filipina said, wow, this is the first time I saw a demo. And she's a 6A. I said, so how did you become a 6A? Online. They don't know demo. I'm just telling you the reality. So I was okay. I can tell stories. I was doing a meeting in New York one time. A young black lady from Boston flew. The meeting was 1 o'clock, 9 o'clock she was there already. And she flew from Boston to New York. We were doing a meeting about the Wagyu beef, you know. And then we spoke. So her name is Sandra. Apparently Sandra, this young black lady, became a 6A2 in 11 months. 11 months. So I said, how did you learn about the business? Oh, I just saw like make money online, and I signed up. I even know the one that he signed up to. She's from Canada, another black couple that was with me in a cruise or in Cancun seminar. But anyway, Sandra said, yeah, I'm 6'8", 11 months. I just made 100,000 last month. And I don't want to be a doctor anymore. I'm a doctor. And I'm telling my other doctor friends, you know, this is it, you know. This is it. Online, you know. And then I was even shocked because I said, I realized, I mean, she went to medical school, she's a doctor, so she must have money, and she bought, I've never met anybody that bought a septetta, like 7 positions like that, you know. That's what she did. So I only signed septettas, you know. Not even trifecta or quadfecta, septettas. Like 7 positions. That's how I became a DAS 11. I see him in different conventions online. Now, she signed up under a lady. I knew her name. His name is Agape because I met him this young couple in black couple in Cancun. They told me their story. Said Romy, they're now DAS 3 about to become DAS 4. Okay, said Romy, me and my husband. I only make 40,000 a year on my job. My husband had no job. And then we found this thing, make money online. So we joined. So we tried it. It was so hard. We tried to get leads by posting on Facebook. We followed the instruction. And then we had 20 leads on one day, 30 leads. When it hit 50 leads, then we sold. So, wow, so it takes 50 leads. It's like what we call prospect, they call leads, you know. So 50 leads, and then 100 leads in one day, and then it started like rolling. So he told, the husband said, okay, if we could make, they made about 60,000. If we could make 60,000 in this thing, why don't you just quit your job of 40,000 and we both do it? And they did. They made over 100,000. Now they're making a lot. They're DAS 3s, you know. And they told me when we saw this thing, how to make money online, we did not pass for the financing. Me and my husband had to drive Uber to raise the money so we could buy a machine and join the business. I tell you things that people do. And then now we were in. I was in Dominican Republic. I was supposed to go there. Agape and I forgot Atkin, the husband. So, aren't you going to Punta Cana with us on our? Oh no, we have a meeting with like 40 business people. You know, they have grown so big. I see them on YouTube, but online. Now, here's the. So what I'm saying is pay attention to online. Because the younger generation after you, if you're looking to be in this energy business for the rest of your life, you know, you might as well know that the younger generation, 20 to 35, is not gonna do demo. They won't do demo. Because they have a framework. Okay, this is what they call framework. They teach everybody. There's one lady cut. Oh, you want to say something first?
You translate.
I guess before you go into that part is very important. I want to. Ý ông nói là
Let me get something from the room.
tóm tắt lại là ông nói là bây giờ ông đã nhận ra là rất nhiều người trẻ đã tới, tại vì ông làm và ông vẫn làm những cái demo bình thường là tầm như vậy, nhưng mà những cái người mà tới đó ông nói là có nhiều người lên 6A 6A2 mà chưa bao giờ từng làm demo luôn, thì họ rất là ngạc nhiên khi mà thấy ông vẫn còn làm demo như kiểu hồi xưa. Đó, thì ông nhận ra là càng ngày càng nhiều người trẻ họ làm thành công. Thì mình cũng biết bên kia họ làm online, thì ông chuẩn bị, ông sẽ nói ra cái cách, cái framework, có nghĩa là cái mô hình làm online như thế nào cho nó đúng. Và ông nói là mình là những người lứa tuổi ở khoảng giữa cho đến cái khoảng lớn tuổi, thì nếu mà mình muốn, tại vì càng ngày mình sẽ, cái công việc mình sẽ càng ngày mình sẽ càng già đi, mà nếu mình không hiểu được cái cách làm online ấy, thì thứ nhất là mình không có lôi cuốn họ, mình không hút khách họ vô được. Thứ hai, mà nếu mình không biết cái cách làm thì làm sao mình hướng dẫn họ để cho họ làm cái con online. Cho nên cái này chắc hai anh em mình phải có cái cách nào đó để trung hòa giữa cái làm truyền thống và mình làm online.
Em cho em hỏi này, xíu nữa ông ra đó em có một cái ý kiến như vậy. Okay. Thì những người, có nhiều người giống như là An vậy, em muốn recruit một người, right? Thì starting cái conversation như thế nào? Cái đó là còn cái những cái success thì tất nhiên là bọn em cũng always wanna reach to that point, right? Nhưng mà cái beginning á, khi mà anh gặp một người anh muốn là mời người ta vô, giờ nói như thế nào cho anh nghe?
Lúc nãy ông cũng có nói đó. Cũng có
Cái đó
nói
mình
sơ
có
sơ.
cái section after cái câu hỏi của Chip trước rồi em hỏi cái này, nhưng mà tất cả thì em nghĩ là nó đều gói gọn ở trong cái kỹ năng của mình hết. Nó có trong cái buổi để mà mình phải phát huy cái kỹ năng đó thì em sẽ có cái câu trả lời của em.
Thì nó nói đó, mình cũng phải coi rồi mình coi cái người aspect người ta cần cái gì, cái pain point đó người ta cần cái gì. Giống như chị Diễm chỉ cần ly cà phê mà chị đem đi nước trà chứ đâu có chịu. Cái point của người ta muốn cà phê thì mình đưa lên cà phê cho người ta là người ta vui lòng thôi.
Cái mà mình cần cũng nghe ông nói là làm sao những người đi làm online mà thành công. Nhưng mà ông nói cũng có nói một câu là có một cái người kia là họ làm nó là họ phải có 50 cái lead mới bán được với có một cái account, đúng không? 50 cái lead rồi từ từ nó lên rồi. Thì bây giờ làm sao mà mình có được 50 cái lead đó, 50 ông nói là cách mình mời người đó, thì cách là mình sẽ làm sao để mình có được cái lead ở trên cái mạng xã hội của mình đó. Thì